Good morning. Good morning, viewers. Hi, cubies and newbies. I am Sunshine, and this is the ABCube method for solving Rubik's. This is the ABCube method for solving Rubik's cubes. Sorry, I was not up to being here yesterday, but I'm here today. So, do we have anyone? On Saturdays, I have not figured out what I do. I just kind of want to chat with you guys and answer any questions and do whatever you guys want me to do. So the ABCube method, it's two moves. One's four turns and one's 8 turns, and with it you can solve every size and complexity of Rubik's cubes as long as it's an n by n by n by n, same number. So it has to be a cube. Doesn't do the shape shifting, doesn't do the other the other shapes so much. But any cube, in fact, if a slight mediation, you can also use it to do this cube as well, which is a 3 by 3 by 9, and so you can do others like that. And you don't have to worry about parities, because the parities can be undone with a single quarter turn of the slice that has the parity on it. So I have a parity on this one that I can work on. Had some friends from out of state come, and she had her grandson solving the cube, and he got this far and said, this one is you have to do, there's a long thing you have to do in order to fix this one. So he just left it there instead of finishing the cube for his grandma. So this is one of the things a parity looks like. Parity is anytime it looks like there's two pieces and just two pieces out of place. When there's always has to be 3, according to the mechanics of the cube. So the third piece that you can't see is the piece that you can't see. Literally, it's a single quarter turn of the slice that touches the parity. So it can be, if we turn that 1/4 turn, let's see. Okay, so now my red's on top. I usually have yellow on top, but now my red's on top. So I make a quarter turn, and now there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. So 3 or more. So I pick a cube that is incorrect. I displace from my red down into that spot. So up. This is the one. Up, down, down. And find a piece on the top that's not red, that's not the top color. Corners match the front. It's going in the top direction, so this way. So away, up, in, up. Just Formula B. Formula B is the top row and 2 columns, and you don't have to remember which 2 columns do what, because the cube itself has to dictate to you what the columns are. So this is the piece I want to place. Corners match the front. It's going in the green direction. So top row, the first column is where it lands, second column is where it is. Up, up, down, down. Find another piece where Formula B moves from the top front to the side. Bring the corners to match the front. It's going in the blue direction, so away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. Corners match the front. It's going in this direction. Up, up, down, down. Corners match the front. It's going in this direction. Up, up, down, down. And the corners, the edges, are now correct. We've undone that parity by sliding a row a quarter turn. This is the only time when doing formula A and B is going to displace something you did before, and that's because these pieces were not correct. If they were correct, you wouldn't have had a parity. So then you just place these pieces where they belong, which is why I always do the centers last, because then when the parity twist messes up the centers are not already done. Formula B to move these. Formula A and B is all I ever use. So, big piece that's wrong, line it up with something you can switch, up, up, down, down. So there's a random probability of about half that you would get, 50% that you would get a parity versus not getting a parity. But that increases when you work from the center out, because then you're just carrying the parity along. If you start work from the corners out, you see the parity, you undo it with a simple slice and keep going, and you don't have to memorize a algorithm to undo the parity. So you can solve the cube with just A and B. So there's that. That's fun. Hey, I promised you a novelty item. Look at my new toy. Here's the box. Here's the box. You can't see it. Here's the box. It is very, very hefty. Let me show you what I've got. It is from Dion. I don't know if I can do it. Let's see. Got Dion Shang metal cube. And that is what it is. Let me show you. Big box. Big box. Okay. It is red and silver. And it is a dragon cube. This is really, really hefty, good, solid. And we've got the head, and then it slides over this cube, and then the arms reach out, and the tail comes over here and wraps around. So the legs are in the front, where the legs are. The bottom is a solid flat. I'm going to open this now. Haha. And of course it will turn like a cube. I gotta open this. I'm so happy. I saw it on Facebook and said, "Ooh, must have the shiny." Okay. All right. So it does indeed twist, and you can see that it's only going to be lined up the right way. There is one corner on top and one corner on bottom that do not have the dragon on it, so those pieces can be swapped. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 edge pieces that can be swapped. But the rest of them, it turns, so you can mess it up. I'm not going to mess it up. It's too pretty. Too pretty. And then it comes with a it has stand to stand on. It's also wrapped up. So pretty. So pretty. So it just sits on, the bottom is flat, so it just sits right there on the stand and looks pretty or menacing. So that is my new toy, and I'm very happy with it. There it is. Ta-da! Very pretty. It is the Dragon Cube by Dion Sheng. Metal Dragon Cube. Specialized in Magic Cube, 30 years. So this will be on in my place of honor on my bookshelf. I'm happy about that. I'm really happy about that. So just set that there. Okay, so I wanted to talk about parodies. When the 4x4 first came out, Mr. Jeffrey Verasano went to the toy convention, the Cube convention, because he was the record holder at the time, the only one. And so they showed him the 4x4 and said, let him play with it while he's at the convention. And so he played with it for a while, long enough to realize, oh, there's something that happens on the 4x4 that you can't have on the 3x3. And so before he could fix it, they said, okay, thank you for coming to our convention. You give it back. You have to have it back now. It's not released. Now, for me, I would have a puzzle in my head until I could get my hand on the cube again. But he went home and used some graph paper and colored pencils. And he solved the parody in 10 moves. So go follow him if you don't. I don't know how often he posts, but he still plays with the cubes. He's now running a pizzeria in Atlantic, Georgia. So parodies. It looks like a parody is where it looks like there's two pieces that need to be flipped. And if you work with the centers first and then pair up your edges and then solve like a 3x3, if you have a parody, it's going to look like two adjacent here are flipped. If you follow my ABCube method, the pattern that I follow, I do the corners first, and then I do the opposite edges, and then I do the side edges. And so the way I'd solve the cube, the parody is always going to look like on the same stripe opposite each other. This one will be here, this one will be here. But depending on how you solve your cube, you can have a corner parody, you can have the parody being on two separate faces, but anywhere it looks like there's two cubes that need to be switched, and only two cubes, there's the third cube is always the center stripe that touches that parody. So a single quarter turn, and then reset the edges, ignoring the centers, and then once the edges are correct, then you can set the centers. Or you can memorize the big old long parody algorithm, or 2 or 3 or 4, and use them whenever, bring them out and dust them off whenever you get that particular parody. But you can control by how you solve it. You can control, and you can solve the parodies as they come up with a single quarter turn, so you don't have to worry about the parody algorithms. So, nobody's chatting with me yet, so I'm going to do an overview of what the moves. We're going to do an overview of what Formula A and Formula B does. Formula A takes a piece from the front and brings it to the top. For corners, that would be the bottom row and the right column. And that's going to flip these two back and forth until it's solved. But you can also apply Formula A to the absolute center to give you boxes. So if I apply A to this piece, then this is my row and this is my column. So I move this piece out away, I move the space down, move the cube into the space, and the cube in the space back up again. And that made this blue center go to the top. If I do it again, if I do it two more times, it will go back to start. You just have to keep your centers the top, front, and right. But if I flip it, then the reverse needs to be done. So again, orange is going to go up here. So again, it's just formula A, away, down, in, up. So formula A, if you're using the bottom row in the right column, flips these two and several of the edges. An odd number puts the corners back where they are but rotated. 3 leaves the corners moved but the edges back where they were. And 6 gets you back to where you were at the beginning. So when you're working on the top, and if you've got a corner twisted, you can slide the top row out of the way and keep going on your A's so that you can adjust things on top without messing up the bottom. Formula A and B is designed to not mess up anything that you've already done, except when you're undoing a parity, which is a setup move. The formula A and B doesn't hurt you at all. So that's formula A is out, away from the action, and bring this piece down, back into the action, and then the piece in the space back up again. So it's 4 moves for formula A, and you only do that for the corners and the absolute center. Alternatively, when you're working with the large cube, you can also do formula A for the entire first layer, but you only do it for the first layer because formula A will affect all of the 6 sides that you're working on for the centers. So you can only use formula A on the first one. So I don't even teach it. I just teach formula B for all the rest of them. Formula B moves 3 pieces around. So A brings a piece to the top, B moves 3 pieces around, and that's all you ever need to do. So you select the piece that you're working on. You don't have to memorize these columns move this and these columns move that. You don't have to. You just have to find a cube. You pick a cube that needs to be affected, and you apply the formula to that. So if I wanted to move this piece to one of the sides, then I would use the top row in 2 columns. And the 2 columns are where this cube wants to end up and where the cube began. So if I'm throwing it in this direction, this is the first column, this is the second column. If I'm throwing it in this direction, then this is the first column, this is the second column. So to move it over here, I would move away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down, and this piece moved here. This piece moved here. It always moves only 3 pieces, and you already knew that 2 of them were incorrect, so you don't have to worry about the 3rd piece. It just takes care of itself. But if I wanted to move this piece to this direction, then it'd be the top row. This is the first column, this is the second column. So away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down, and it moved over here. Again, the piece came in front and this piece went there. It always only moves 3 pieces. To repeat, this piece is incorrect now, and it wants to go down here. So I've let the corners match the front color, and the first column is where I want it to land, second column is where it is. So away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down, and this piece is now correct. And to move this piece into this spot, away, up, in, up, away, down, in, down. So for an edge piece, Formula B is always top row and 2 columns. When the outer columns affect the corners, an outer and an inner affects the edge, and 2 inner columns affect the centers. So, for example, slide the top up, back to it, slide it to a different column. Second up, down, down, and my corners and edges stayed the same, and it moved the centers around. It looks like it moved 2 because two of the pieces that moved were the same color, so you couldn't tell the difference. But I'm going to mark this so you can see where it goes when it comes down. It's not going to land here. This piece goes up, different column, second up, reverse, down, set the top. So this piece went here, this piece went here. So it's always moving 3 pieces around, always. And again, if it looks like there's only 2 because it looks like a parody, all parodies are lies. There's always 3. And so the third piece is the center that you can't see, but touches the layer that has the parody on it. Move that 1/4 turn and solve, and your parody is undone rather than having to be fixed later. So that's it. That's what Formula A and B does. And isn't it gorgeous? Let's see if I can get it to zoom in. There we go. So pretty. So pretty, so pretty. All right. It also came, I also bought a mystery cube at the same time, and that was this one I showed yesterday. No, not yesterday, the Thursday. This is the MGC3 Elite. Paid $12 and got a $30 cube, mystery cube. It comes with a keychain screwdriver, some more magnets, and some more of these stickers should this one fade or come off. It's very pretty, and the cube is very smooth, very soft. It corners. So it's very, very, very nice cube. Very nice cube. All of the bells and whistles are a little bit lost on me because I don't have the finger tricks learned to be able to keep up with you new guys, you young whippersnappers. Just think of thinking it's done. But so this is my cube. But this is the one that came with my dragon. Huzzah. So I will have fun playing with those, and I hope you guys have fun plans for the weekend. Go out and have fun and enjoy yourself and be nice to yourself. I am going to visit my adult niece and nephew and babysit a grandnephew today. So that's my fun. That's what I'm going to be doing today. So everybody, that's it. Go have a wonderful day, and I will be back here. I'll be back here in a week. I'll be back here every Saturday morning, and I'm also here weekday mornings just to do a walkthrough, step by step, of the method. So thank you for joining me, letting me be part of your morning, and bring me your non-cuber friends if they want to learn, and we'll have fun. Bye, you guys. I'll be back on Monday.